Guys, welcome back to another video from the channel Learn from Basics. This is Joe here, and in our last video we learned how to program our instruction screen so whenever we click on the help button, the loading screen loads and then the instruction screen pops up, which is really cool and only requires a little amount of code, which is easy to understand. Now, let's move to the next part. But before that, let's see how far we got. And if you aren't done this far, or if you haven't watched these episodes from the first, then don't forget to check out the playlist that's gonna pop up about right now to watch all of these videos and catch up. But let's see how our game works so far. So we click on help, our loading screen loads, X, and then as you can see we have an instruction screen, which is really cool. But what's the problem? Well, one of the problems over here is the fact that you can't go back to the main screen without clicking on the red flag and green flag. And that's really inconvenient. So what would be a better way? Well, here's a better way. What if we clicked on help, our loading screen loads, and what if there was an X button that appears over here whenever our loading screen is done loading? Well, that's going to be exactly what we do in today's video. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. Now, what we're going to do first is we are going to go to the help button. Actually, no. What we're going to do first is we're going to create a new button, or the X button. Now, in order to do that, there are many buttons that you can either choose from scratch or make by yourself. But I'm going to make a really simple button, which just involves you making a small circle. And since mine is white, you can barely see it, so let's make it red. And maybe smaller. Yep, that looks good. And then we can move that in the center, and we want an X on the button, so we can go to text. Pixel is the font I prefer, X, and since we don't want it to blend in, maybe the white color will do good, and making it bigger won't hurt at all. Now we have an X button and a success, and it looks pretty good. But let's add some graphics to this X button, simple graphics. So whenever we hover on the X button, it gets bigger. Well, instead of doing the code all over again, why don't we just copy and paste the code, because we already have it done. So we can simply go to one of our buttons, and we can open the backpack by clicking on this. We can drag this code in it until the backpack gets blue. Go to the button and then drag the code out. And now we're going to remove switch costume 1 and costume 2 because we don't want it to change color. Now, as you can see, if I click on the red flag and green flag, whenever I hover over, let's put the button over here so it's easier. Now, whenever I hover over this button, it gets bigger, which is really cool. And if you want to know how this works, then don't forget to check out my first video, which should pop up right about now. Now, what's the problem? Well, one of our problems is this X button shows up whenever we start the game, or it shows up in our main screen. But we don't want that. We want our X button to show up whenever the instruction screen comes up. So what can we do? Well, we can simply say when flag clicked, and we can say hide. We can put that over there. And problem solved. We don't have an X button on our main screen. Now, you can click on help, loading screen loads, X, and our instruction screen comes up. But wait, we're hit with another problem over here. Where's the X button whenever the instructions button is supposed to show up? Well, in order to do that, we use the same logic as we used in for the instruction screen. So let's go to the instruction screen for a second. Now you can see that over here it says when I receive message 1, switch costume to instruction screen. So what we can do basically is we can simply use the same logic. We say when I receive message 1, and since we don't want it to switch costume and instead we want it to show up, instead of switch costume to, we say show. Now you can see that when we click on help, our loading screen loads, which is pretty normal by now. X. Now you can see we have our X button, which is really cool. And since my X button kind of blends into the background, I am actually going to make it, what's another good color? How about yellow? So yellow is a pretty good color. We can make it yellow and only yellow. We can make this yellow and we can change this color to white. And now that looks like a pretty cool loading screen. Now what do we do next? Well, here's another problem. Number one, when we click on X, it doesn't take us back to the main screen. So what do we do in order what do we code in order so whenever we click on X, it takes us back to the main screen? Well, if you think about it, it's really simple. All you do is you say, whenever we click on the X button or when the sprite clicked, we want it to broadcast another message or send another message to each and every sprite. Now in order to do that, we can say broadcast message 1. And instead of message 1, let's say close. Now, after we click on this button and after it broadcasts message 1, we want this button to hide or go away. So we can go to looks and we can say broadcast close and then hide. Now when it's intermissioning or when it's going from instruction screen to main screen, we want there to be like kind of a please wait symbol. Now we can use our loading screen, but that's kind of gonna be boring because they've already saw it. So let's create a simple, not animation, but a picture that says please wait. Now making this is really easy. All you do is go to paint. You can make a rectangle and maybe we can fill it up with some pretty cool colors. As I said, one of my favorite color combinations is pink to blue, lighter blue. And then what we can do is first we can minus this out. And first let's take red. Let's make a big rectangle out of red. And now what we can do is we can do the same thing. So first let's make this rectangle smaller so it fits into the frame. Now what we can do, Control C, Control V, and then our next color is going to be, well, how about orange? That looks pretty good. Orange looks pretty good. And then we do the same thing, copy, paste, and this time yellow. Yeah, yellow looks pretty good. And then copy, paste. This time let's make it, well, let's go to the color chart, and if we change it a bit, green. Yep, green looks pretty good. Copy, paste. And then we can make it, well, what's the next color? Well, according to our chart, it's light blue. And then the same thing goes over again. Copy, paste. And then what's our next color? A darker blue. Yeah, that looks good. Copy, paste. And then we can go to a purple. Copy, paste. Then we can go to a pink, and there we go. We kind of have a rainbow, which looks really cool. And now what we can do is we can hold down shift and we can select all of these rectangles. if we click on group and if we click on copy paste, we can do the same thing on the other side, but we can flip it. So if we do flip horizontally, we can do that. And maybe let's increase the size so it fits perfectly. Now as you can see, we have a pretty cool rainbow themed waiting screen. Now all we have to do is write down please wait. And in order to do that, we can do text, please wait. And as I said, I prefer pixels. And let's do white because white stands out. Or let's do black because black stands out. Now please wait. And then there we go. We have a successful please wait screen. Now all we have to do is code it. First of all, we don't want this please wait screen to show up whenever we start the program. So we say when flag clicked, hide. And then what we can do is we want this please wait screen to show up whenever we click on the X button. Now what happens when we click on the X button? Well, according to our code, whenever we click on the X button, when the sprite clicked on, that button broadcasts message close and then hides itself. That's exactly what we need. So we simply say when I receive message close, or when I receive message close basically means whenever the user clicks on the button, then we want 4 things to happen. First of all, we want this to go to the front layer because we want it to cover up any change, like any intermissions happening in the background. Then we can say show because we want it to show up, because if it's still hiding, then it's of no use. And now let's say we want this intermission screen to stay up about maybe 4 seconds. Yeah, that's pretty good. So we can go to control and we can say wait 4 seconds. And then we want it to hide again, because if we don't do this, then it's gonna show and it's gonna like do please wait for the whole game, which is again kind of boring. Now let's see how far we came. We click on help, loading screen loads. We click on X, we click on the X button, please wait, and 4 seconds, and we're back. But what's the problem? Well, we're still at the main screen, or we're still at the instruction screen. How do we get back to the main screen? Well, we simply use the logic we use to change from main screen to instruction screen. So we can take that block, and instead of message 1, we say when I receive close, and instead of switching to instruction screen, we say main screen. Now you can see help, loading screen loads, pretty cool. X. Oh, why isn't it working? Let's see. Oh, that's because we didn't click on the X. Never mind. Please wait. Please wait. And we're back. But isn't there something missing? Isn't something missing? Oh yeah, the buttons are missing. So how do we get the buttons back into the picture? Well, it's really simple. All we do is we click on help. We go to each button and we say, when I receive message close, we want it to show. Now we can drag that into each button. And now you can see I click on help. The loading screen loads pretty good. Yeah, I click on X. I click on the X button. Please wait. And we should be back by now. Now, you can still do the hovering graphic, which is really cool, according to me still. But that's how you code the instruction screen, guys. Thank you for watching this video, and if you want to watch more videos that you're going to enjoy, then there should be one video about C language that should pop up right about now. Now you can click on that to learn the beginning of programming languages. But if you want to watch the previous videos of this maze game, they should pop right now, which you can click on which is the playlist, and you can watch from video 1 to this one. And if you want to watch all the Scratch tutorials I made on how to make different Scratch games, then click on the other playlist, which is really fun and where I explain it from beginners. Now, thank you for watching this video, guys. Don't forget to press that circle on the screen with my channel's logo on it to subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon. Also, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. But thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.